Good morning to everyone. Myself, Dr. M. Haryanand, working as an associate professor in the Department of Civil Engineering, MLR ITM, Hyderabad. Okay, I'm handling the subject of structural engineering 2, that is design of steel structures for the third year section. So today we are going to discuss about bolted connection. Okay. What are the types of bolt available that we have discussed already in the last class. Based on that, what are the connections, bolted connections available, and the problems which are related to bolted connection that we are going to discuss by today's class. Okay. So this image shows the connection of bolted connection. Okay, now so here the column has been connected with the beam through bolt connection. Okay, so the advantages of bolted connections and disadvantages of bolted connection that we have seen. Okay, now so joints can be made without noise, skilled labor is not required, less labor is involved. Okay, quick connections we can make, then structures can be immediately put into use. Okay, now once after connections made, automatically we can go for usage. Okay, accommodates minor variations in dimensions, alterations can be done easily, working area required in the field is less. These are all the some advantages of bolted connections. Similarly, the disadvantages. Okay, there is a considerable reduction in tensile strength. Okay, now since if we are going to make the bolted connection now, the bolt diameter is, for example, 10 mm, but the hole whatever we have to make, that has to be more when comparing with the dia of bolt. So because of that, there will be loss of cross section area. Okay, now so very minor only. So that is also a disadvantage. Next, rigidity of the joints is reduced due to loose fit. So as it is. So if the bolt dia and the hole dia, it is more. Okay, now then the loose connection may happen. Okay, now so because of this loose connection, we are going to lose our strength. Okay, now due to lack of fit. Okay, now so that may happen in the bolted connection. Then due to vibration, nuts are likely to loosen. This is also, if the hole diameter and the bolt dia is been fit properly, means no issue. If it is not fit properly, then due to long-term usage, the vibration load may occur. Okay, now because of that vibration, there will be loose of nuts. Okay, these things may happen. These things are related to disadvantages of bolted connection. So this we have discussed already. That is types of bolt: ordinary bolt and high strength bolt. Okay, now. So these are all the some connection, bolted joints. Okay, lap joint. Likewise. So this is one plate. This is one plate. Okay, now. So over the plate, in between that, I am going to so see here. So here one plate is available, here another plate is available. So these two plates has been connected by bolt. Okay, now. So they are overlapping to each other. So that's why this joint is called lap joint. Next, single bolted lap joint. Single bolted. Okay, now. So only one stretch we are having bolt. So this is called the single bolted lap joint. Then next one is double bolted lap joint. So here in a row there are two rows are there. Okay, now two columns are there. Okay, here two columns are there. So this is double bolted lap joint. Next one is single cover butt joint and double cover butt joint. So butt joint is nothing but there are two plates are available, we have to connect those plates. Okay, now so these plates has been attached like this. Over that we are going to keep the plate. Okay, now another plate. So this is nothing but cover plate has been provided at any one side. Then it is said to be butt joint. Okay, so here one plate is available and another plate is available here. So these two plates has been connected by a cover plate. Okay, and along with the cover plate, the bolt has been done, bolted joint has been done. So this is nothing but butt joint. So single butt joint, single cover butt joint. If I'm going to put in the bottom also, then it is said to be double cover butt joint. Okay, so here when I'm going for failure type, okay, now single shear, double shear, okay, now then bearing, then tearing. So these are all the common types of failure happening in the bolted joint. Okay. So first is shear failure. Shear, we know that, okay, now due to continuous action of force opposite to each other, the joint may get failed. So here, for example, this lap joint I am going to consider. Here one load is acting and here one load is acting. These forces are opposite to each other. So meanwhile, here it is tends to move like this and this portion is moved to like this. Okay, now. So here the shear happened, shear force happened. So shear force is nothing but the force which can act opposite to each other. It can occur like a sliding force. Okay, now sliding force. Okay. So here we can get it. So this is nothing but single shear in the lap joint. Similarly, butt joint also. So this plates tends to move here. This plates tends to move here. Okay, now. So here also we can get the shear failure. Next, so this is single shear. Double shear means we can go for double cover butt joint. So here the portion may be that is that so I'm drawing here. So one plate is here. So there are two plates. These plates has been connected by a two cover plates. Okay. Now I am going to erect a bolted joint here. So this is bolted connection. Okay. Now if I am going to apply the force here and here, F, F. Okay. Now what will happen? This plate tend to move this side. This plate tends to move this side. So here the at the joint there are two places of joint here. Here I am having one joint and here I am having one joint. And similarly here for this bolt. So these places can have shear forces. So this is nothing but in a single bolt itself, we are having two shear planes. So that this is called the double shear failure. Okay. So single shear and double shear failure. Next, bearing failure. So bearing is nothing but due to continuous action of force for a long time. Okay, now it's going to lose their cross section, either plate or bolt, due to force, external force. Okay, now that action is nothing but bearing failure. Okay, so because of bearing, so see here, I'm going to draw the diagram here. So here I am having plate. Okay, so I am having the bolt connection here. Okay, so due to continuous action of force, there will be loss of contraction here. Because of continuous contact, there will be a loss of cross section here. Okay, now even in the bolt as well as in the plate. So plate it may going to happen here, for the bolt it may going to happen here. So this is called the bearing failure. Okay. Next one is tension failure. It is fourth one, tension failure. So tension failure is nothing but while applying the tension force, the bolt going to get failure from each side. Okay. So this is called tension failure. So the tension failure may happen while applying the force, tension force in the bolt. Okay. So these are all the common types of failure to be happen in the bolted connections. Next. Here in this bolt, okay now. So this is called threaded portion. Threaded portion. This is called the shank. Okay. So mostly, if it is single shear plane, okay now, the shank only going to take a shear failure or whatever it may be. So that whenever I'm going to calculate the single shear failure, that time I'm going to take the area of, that is only shank portion I'm going to take. Shank is nothing but this area. There is no thread. Okay. So the area of a bolt will be equal to pi by 4 into d square directly. So dia of shank I'm going to take. And if I'm going to take double failure, that is double shear failure. Okay, now. So that time the portion may get, one is at shank, another failure is at shear threaded portion. Okay, now. So that time I'm going to take the area. Okay, now there is the formula ANB and ASB. Okay, now shank and net area. Okay, now that time I'm going to take it as a 0.78 into pi by 4 d square dia of bolt square. Okay, now next bearing failure. So bearing failure may happening like this. So continuous rubbing action is going to get failed. Okay, now. So this is a bearing failure of plate. Sometimes the bolt is more stronger than our plate. Okay, now that time the plate only going to get failure. Okay. Next to tension failure of bolts. So this is the kind of tension failure of bolt. Okay, now that is plate. So here the plate may get failure. Okay, now the completely the cross section has been removed from the bolt location. Okay, because of external force. Next one is block shear failure. So I already said the block shear failure. So that entire area wherever we can have the connection, that total portion gets removed from its position. That is called a block shear failure. Okay. So these are all the some common failure pattern which we can have in the block shear failure. Bolted connection. Next, some of the thing we have to note it down. This is as per IS 800 2007. We have given the values. Okay. Uh, pitch. Pitch is nothing but one bolt to another bolt. What is the distance? Center to center distance. Okay, now that distance is nothing but pitch. Okay. So the minimum pitch is equal to 2.5 times of D. D is the nominal dia of bolt. So for example, if the bolt is having the dia of 16, so this is our nominal diameter. So minimum pitch should be equal to 2.5 times of diameter of the bolt. So maximum pitch, so 32 times of T or 300 mm, whichever is maximum. In that we are going to take. So T here, T is equal to thickness of plate or thickness of member, whatever we are going to use, that we are going to take it. Okay. Next, gauge distance. So pitch and gauge. Okay, now if the distance while applying to the force, that is, this is the bolt in the plane. Okay, I'm drawing here. So here one plate is available. Okay, so here the bolts are available. Okay, now so the pitch is nothing but the distance between the two bolts. Okay, now along the direction of force is called the pitch. If it is perpendicular to the force, then it is said to be gauge distance. Okay. Next, edge distance. So edge distance is nothing but from here to here, what is the edge? That is called edge. End here to here, what is the end distance that we are going to take? Okay. So mostly edge and end distance, both are similar. So pitch, gauge, edge distance, end distance. Okay, no. So here we have mentioned that. So the pitch is nothing but while applying to the force along the direction of force, what is the uh, center to center distance between two bolts is nothing but pitch. If it is perpendicular to each other, that is perpendicular to the application of force, the distance between the two bolts is nothing but gauge distance G. So this is denoted by P. Okay now, and the edge distance and the end distance both are similar, and it is denoted by small e. Okay, so this is along the direction perpendicular to the direction of force. This is along the direction force, edge distance and the end distance. So in IS 800 2007, okay, now page number 73, we are having the limitations related to connections. Okay, now, so whatever we have discussed, that is pitch, gauge distance, end distance, edge distance, and their limits. Okay, now those things we can have here itself. Okay, and here the nominal size of diameter, that is fasteners. So in the given data, if they have mentioned the dia of bolt is 12 mm or 14 mm, okay, now we have to make the hole in the plate while inserting the bolt, okay, now. So that we are going to take some more than that diameter, okay, now. So that allowance they have given. So the clearance is 1 mm for the 12 to 14 mm. If it is 16 mm to 22 mm diameter of bolt, the clearance is 2 mm. So if it is going to be the diameter of bolt hole, okay, now then it is said to be 16 plus 2, 18 mm, 22 plus 2, 24 mm, like that. If it is more than 24 mm, the allowance is 3 mm. Okay. Next, the maximum spacing they have given, that is this is nothing but our pitch distance. Okay, here they have given minimum spacing. The distance between center of fastener shall not be less than 2.5 times the nominal diameter of the fastener. So fastener is nothing but either bolt or rivet. Okay, so 2.5 times into D. Next, maximum spacing, that is maximum pitch. Both gauge distance as well as pitch distance, both are same. Okay, now shall not be exceed 32 times of T or 300 mm, whichever is less, where T is thickness of the thinner plate. So if they have connected by two plates and one is 10 mm, another one is 8 mm, that time you are going to choose smaller the thickness of plate, that is 8 mm. Okay, so likewise end and edge distance. So the minimum edge and end distance from the center of any hole to the nearest edge of a plate shall not be less than 1.7 times of the hole diameter. So here you have to consider hole diameter. Okay. For example, if it is 12 mm dia fasteners used, then the hole diameter is 13 mm. If it is 22 mm diameter fasteners are used, then the hole diameter is 24 mm. So that allowance we are going to take it from there. Okay. If it is hand flame cut edges and 1.5 times the hole diameter in case of rolled machine flame cut. So based on that machines used to make the hole, okay, now we are going to take the allowance 1.5 times or 1.7 times the dia of hole. Okay. Then maximum edge distance to the nearest line of fasteners from edge of any unstiffened part should not exceed 12 times of T into epsilon. Mostly epsilon value they have given as root under 250 divided by Fy. So Fy is nothing but yield stress of our material. Okay, na plate. Mostly it should be equal to 250 Newton per mm square. So while substituting the value, automatically we can get 1 as a epsilon value. Okay. So these are all the things we are going to have in our page number 73 of IS 800 2007, which are related to our bolted connections. That is pitch, gauge distance, end distance, edge distance. Okay, these things. And dia of bolt, dia of hole, those things we can have. Next. I already said bolted connection means it can have three types of failure: shear failure, bearing failure, and tearing failure. So those things we can have here. So shear capacity of bolt, okay, na class 10.3.3. VDSB is equal to VNSB by gamma MB. So that gamma MB is nothing but partial safety factor for the material. Okay. VNSB is equal to nominal shear capacity of the bolt, calculated as follows. So FU divided by, here FU is nothing but FUB. Okay, now FUB means ultimate tensile strength of the bolt. Okay, now mostly we are going to take it as a 400 Newton per mm square. Okay, note it down, these values and all. So FUB is equal to 400 Newton per mm square, and NN, number of shear planes with threads intercepting the shear plane. If it is single shear plane, that is with respect to shank portion only, it is going to. Okay, so that we are going to take it as a NN equal to 1, and ANB is equal to net area. Okay, now so automatically we are going to take pi by 4 into d square, dia of bolt square. Okay, now so based on that value, we are going to take it as 0.78, whether it is shank portion or threaded portion. Mostly for the safety concern, we are going to take it as a threaded portions. Okay, now for example, this is my shank portion. Okay, now but unfortunately, if it is going to happen in thread, what will happen? Okay, now so threaded is the thread portion have minimum area due to thread. Okay, now so that may get failure easily. Okay, now so that's why always whenever we are going to take, at the time the NSB value is equal to 0.78 into area, pi by 4 into d squared we are going to take. Okay, so this is the first formula we are going to use, shear capacity of bolt. Next, bearing capacity of the bolt, that is VDB is equal to VNB by gamma MB. These formulas will be available in page number 75 of IS 800 2007. Okay, so VDBB is equal to VNBB by gamma MB. Okay, now so this formula we can have. So VNBP is equal to nominal bearing strength of a bolt, which is equal to 2.5 into KB into D into T into FU. So here FU is equal to ultimate tensile strength of the bolt, ultimate tensile strength of the plate, that is 410 Newton per mm squared. That value we are going to take 410. Here it is FU, here it is FUB, here it is FUB. Okay. Next, KB is the constant value which has the values, okay, now the smaller of these four criteria. Okay, so E divided by 3 into D naught. So E is nothing but edge distance or end distance. Okay, so normally we are going to take it as a 1.5 times of D naught. That is D naught is nothing but our diameter of hole. Okay, now so D naught is equal to diameter of hole. P is equal to pitch. So pitch we are going to take it as a 2.5 times of dia of bolt. We are going to take now minimum. Okay, now minimum value. So D naught in minus 0.25, comma FUB by FU. So 400 divided by 410, comma 1. Among these four, which one is smaller? That we are going to take it as a bolt KB, that is constant. Okay. So while substituting this, D is equal to diameter of bolt, T is equal to summation of thickness of the connected plates experiencing bearing stress in the same direction. Or if the bolts are countersunk, the thickness of the plate minus one half of the depth of countersinking. So mostly what we are going to take now, which plate, there are two plates connected, means among them which one have lesser thickness, that plate thickness we are going to take it as a T value. Okay, so this is the formula related to bearing strength of a bolt. Next, tension capacity. Okay, so tension capacity, here the formula is 0.9 into FUB by AN. Okay, so AN FUB is equal to ultimate tensile stress of the bolt. That is, I already said 400 Newton per mm square. Next, AN. net tensile stress area as specified in the appropriate Indian standard for bolts. So net specified strength, okay, now mostly we are going to take it as a shank portion area. That only we are going to say. Among them, that is shear capacity of bolt, bearing strength of the bolt, and tension capacity of bolt. Among them, which value has the least value? That one we are going to take it as a strength of bolt. Okay, these three we have to find out in the problem. Among them, note down the problem, that is calculate the strength of a 20 diameter bolt of grade 4.6 for the following cases. The main plates to be joined are 12 thick. First one is lap joint, second one is single cover butt joint. The cover plate being 10 thick. Then third one is double cover butt joint, each of the cover plate being 8 thick. So this is the given data. Okay, we should move on to the problem now. First, we should write the given data. So calculate the strength of the 20 diameter bolt. So they have given that bolt diameter as B is equal to 20 So next, they have given that bolt grade is equal to 4.6. Then thickness of cover plate.